Howdy, freaks. We just wrapped week 2 of the powerlifting prep. So let's run it back. Session 1, not off to a good start. I did a 3x4 with 255 pounds and it moved horribly. I tried 275, also moved horribly. Now I am thinking about reevaluating the weight choices for my squats going forward. My best squat ever is 405. My current best squat, I don't know. It's definitely not 405. So I think putting 405 in on the little calculator that calculates all my percentages out for the program was kind of a rough idea. So I'm thinking about dropping a little bit just so I'm able to at least hit the reps that I'm supposed to be hitting. So a little humbling, a little reality check, but you gotta do what you gotta do, you know? It's upsetting, but you gotta do what you gotta do. After squats, chest supported rows. 6x6 with pretty moderate weight. These went fine. So far the volume's kind of tapering off, which I like, and the weight's going up a little bit. And these sets and reps, I'm liking right now. This is kind of what I'm more comfortable with. Up next, front squats. 4x3. I upped the weight since last week. To be honest, I think I could go a little bit heavier, but I'm slowly getting there. My wrist mobility is still lacking, but it'll get better over time. After front squats, I did close grip bench press, 2x8 with 165 pounds. It was challenging, but it wasn't insane. Last week, week 1, my close grip bench press, it wasn't really all that challenging. It was just a lot of volume, but I mean, it went well, you know. So I'm happy I'm at a weight that it's starting to feel like a little bit of a challenge. Then to finish off session 1, I did a superset of lat pull downs, reverse hyperextensions, and dumbbell shoulder press. Session 2 was the best session of the week. I started off with bench instead of deadlifts because the deadlift platform was taken. So I started with bench, 2x6 with 185, and then 2x4 with 205, pausing the last couple of reps, and these felt really good. I was having a lot of fun. Solid weight, challenging, not crazy though, but these felt really good, felt really awesome. Up next was pause deadlifts, 330 pounds, 4x3. Then afterwards, I did some regular deadlifts with 365, 4x2. When it comes to the pause deadlifts, I'm trying to get a little more consistent. I think I did a little bit better this week than I did last week, but it's still difficult. I ended up using one of the Olympic platforms because the deadlift platform I normally use was taken, and I don't really like those Olympic platforms for deadlifting, especially for sumo. For conventional, I don't really mind it, but for sumo, I feel like my feet are going to slip out, and it's not fun. Finished off session 2 with tricep push downs, cable curls, and lat pull downs. Session 3, squats again. So I lowered the weight a bit just so I could get a little more volume in. I wrote a note on session 3. These leg days are improving. I might not be as strong as squat as I once thought. Depressing. Yeah, it kind of is, but we'll get over it. Chest supported rows were the same as the first session. Went well, same amount of weight, same amount of reps, same amount of sets. Went well, went good. Front squats surprisingly moved better this time around than my first session of this week. At least it felt like it moved better to me. The video might not show that, but I was feeling better. My wrist mobility is getting there. This was the first front squat session where I've been able to get all 4 fingers under the bar and not have it slip out, which is kind of nice, but it's still a little tricky. So it'll get back, but it's gonna take some time. Up next, close grip bench press, same weight, same reps as the first session. Did not move as well though. I was kind of sore, so it wasn't moving as great, but it still went pretty fine, so I'm happy with it. And of course, finished off with dumbbell shoulder press, reverse hyperextensions, and lat pull downs. Session 4 was deficit deadlifts. 335 4x3. It went well, however, I do think pause deadlifts are a little bit easier, which is strange. I then did 365 for 2 on regular deadlifts, and my thumbs were really cooked after this workout, more so than my first deadlift workout this week. I don't know what it was, but my thumbs were trashed. Bench press was the same as session 2, 2x6 with 185, and then 2x4 with 205. It went well, could have been better though. This final session was it was at the tail end of the week, and I was just feeling the soreness and I was feeling exhausted. So I think it's kind of typical that the last session is going to be a little rough, but could have been better. I then finished up with a superset of tricep pushdowns, cable curls, and lateral raises. All right, so overall thoughts of this week. Better, but also quite the reality check on squats, which I'm not happy about, but I understand. Shit happens, man. You gotta roll with the punches sometimes. You gotta kind of figure it out. So that's going to be a little tricky to navigate going forward, I think. Another thing I'm noticing is I'm only really doing like 1 or 2 shoulder workouts a week. So I think I'm going to either start spending a lot more time warming up my shoulders before I bench, or I might just start incorporating more shoulder exercises, simply because in theory, if you don't exercise your shoulders and you just bench press, you're probably going to mess up your shoulders. At least that's my initial thought. Maybe I'm an idiot, but I don't know. I want to have good shoulders. I want to have strong, healthy shoulders. So I'm probably gonna throw in another exercise or 2. Another thing I'm thinking about throwing in is Bulgarian split squats. I kind of do them a little bit differently because I set up in a rack and I use the safety squat bar, but I'm thinking about maybe setting that up on one of my deadlift days, because it seems like my deadlift days are kind of short compared to my leg days. So we'll see. Other than that, it was all right. It was an all right week. Had some wins, had some losses, but overall pretty okay. Definitely more comfortable with the weights now, which is nice. I have not checked at what I'm supposed to be doing this week. My first workout of the 3rd week will be tomorrow, and I still haven't looked at what I'm doing, but we'll find out tomorrow, I guess. I think squats are going to need a little bit of reevaluation, but other than that, I think we're staying on the right path. But yeah, guess that's the video. Have a good day.